Hey everybody, it's Charlie Merrill with Merrill Performance. Are you dealing with shoulder pain? I've had a string of virtual clients this week from all over the world. India, Berlin, Australia. These are all athletes in different sports, believe it or not. Rock climbing, gymnastics, and yoga. But they were all having sort of anteriorly biased shoulder pain. And they'd done some good work. They'd seen some clinicians to help rule out some of the structural stuff that we see that sometimes causes anterior shoulder pain. But in all three of the cases, we were looking at limitation in the posterior capsule, which is the sort of joint, the ligament tissue in the back of the shoulder. And when that gets adaptively short, the ball gets sort of forced forward into the socket or the glenoid of the shoulder blade. And so the strain on the structures in front can become quite high. We get things like sharp pain in the biceps. We get these feelings of like strain on the labrum, which could be a feeling of instability. It could be some noise. It could be shifting. It could be friction. But mostly we're just dealing with athletes that have some pain. And of course, the shoulder is a complex joint, but the sleeper stretch and another stretch that I'm going to share with you are really easy for you to do at home. And I want to show you a quick self-test to see if you even need this at all, to see if it's a part of what's going on. The first one, you're just going to take your arm and you're going to pull it across. I don't want you to shrug. I want you to keep that shoulder blade relaxed. And you're going to see how much tension you have stretching through the back of your shoulder. If you're feeling that pinching in the front, we may be dealing with something else and have to look elsewhere. But if you feel like when you compare one side to the other, if the side with the discomfort feels particularly stiff when you pull it across, that's one clue that you might need to do this. The other common objective finding we see is that people on their stiff side have a hard time getting their thumb to go up their spine as far on one side as they do on the other. And so if you're having trouble doing that, it might be a sign that the capsule, the joint, the ligaments in the back of your shoulder need a little bit of attention. So I'm going to show you first how to do the sleeper stretch. This one's a little bit funny to set up, so really pay attention to the details. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lie on my back. I'm going to reach my arm out towards the camera about 90 degrees from my body, and I'm going to reach as far as I can toward you. Then I'm going to roll up onto my side, and I'm going to roll just past vertical. I'm making sure that my shoulder blade doesn't shrug up towards my ear, so I have plenty of space in here, and you can even fill that with a pillow. But you want to make sure that you're kind of keeping that shoulder blade from rising up. I'm going to bend my elbow. So now I'm 90 degrees at my shoulder, 90 degrees at my elbow. And then I'm going to push down toward the floor until I start to feel that in my shoulder. And the stiffer you are, the less close you're going to be able to get to the ground. And while that's not necessarily a goal, a benchmark, what I do want you to feel and appreciate is this kind of odd but very intense stretching feeling coming around the back of your shoulder, wrapping around to the side. Again, if you're getting pinching in the front, you're getting compression, start again, try to set it up and attend to the details. And if you can set it up well and the pinching goes away, that's a great sign. You should really be feeling it in the back of your shoulder. If you're setting it up just right, and you're still getting pinching in the front of the shoulder, I would just say skip this one altogether. But again, you're looking for that tension back through the back of the shoulder joint, wrapping around. It's quite unique and it's quite intense. I'd spend at least a minute. Ideally, you spend a couple minutes there, breathing, trying to relax, and just let it give. It needs some time under tension to be able to give. So strategy number 2 is more of an ART style strategy. That means active release technique. And what we're going to do here is we're going to use a lacrosse ball or double lacrosse ball to pin the tissue that we're trying to lengthen in a shortened position, in this case in external rotation, where the capsule and the muscle are short and on slack. And then we're going to take it through a range of motion over to this sort of test position that we looked at earlier to see if we can lengthen out the tissue that way. So if I use a single lacrosse ball, I'm going to come to an outside corner in any room. I'm going to come kind of close to the edge because what I want to be able to do is get that arm to a position where the tissue is relatively short and on slack. Okay? Once I find the target tissue, which is really right in the back of the shoulder, you can move around and find it. I'm going to pin it. I'm going to put some tension, some pressure in through it with my body weight, and then I'm going to bring my arm down to internal rotation and start to bring it across my body slowly, carefully, so that ball doesn't slip. And the tension's going to build like crazy in the back of my shoulder until I get to, kind of my new end range, okay? I'm going to take the pressure off. I'm going to reset every time, maybe find a new spot, Same spot if it still feels like it needs another stretch. And then I'm gonna go from external to internal rotation, slow, controlled, breathing. I'm not rotating my body at all, keeping my body very still, and I'm just moving my arm from there to there, okay? Find a new spot, take the tension off, take the pressure off, pin it, get some pressure in through there, and then we're gonna bring you from external to internal rotation once more. Oh, that one's really good, and I'm getting to here, and it's starting to get pretty intense, so I'm gonna slow it down. Oh, let it sink in, and just gradually giving input to the fascia so it can release. Oh, it's so good. So you might do, 12 to 15 passes going from short to long. And then when you get done, retest, see if it feels better. Retest, see if it feels better. See if you're more even. Even just after that little bit I did, my shoulder already feels more open. It already feels like it has more space to move. So this video was a request from one of my YouTube viewers. I just want to let you all know how grateful I am to be able to connect with you all virtually from across the world, share ideas, share information. Please, if you have questions or anything that you'd like me to talk about in the future, either message me or leave a comment. Take a second to subscribe. Please share this with someone that you think might need it. Please click that like button. Remember that I'm always available to do virtual consults, to talk to you one-on-one and help you figure out, problem solve what's going on. If I don't see you there, I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Peace.